Hello everyone, and welcome to this Canva Essentials course. I'm so glad you're here and that you have chosen to start your Canva journey with us. I always get emotional when I introduce new people to Canva because it's had such a profound impact on my life. My name is Ronnie, this is my wife Diana. We are both Canva verified experts, handpicked by Canva as their top brand ambassadors. And being a Canva expert means we have the privilege of accessing new features before they roll out to the general public, but also to often collaborate with Canva on various projects. And apart from Udemy, Diana and I share our love for Canva on our YouTube channel, so you might already know us from there. The channel features over 500 tutorials dedicated to learning how to use Canva. I also personally had the chance to work at Canva's Sydney headquarters for about 2 years. This gave me invaluable insights into the company, the values it stands for, and of course, the product itself. We know getting started with Canva can feel intimidating at first. You might be wondering where to start or feel overwhelmed by all the features and all the options available. If this sounds like you, don't worry. It's completely natural to feel uncomfortable when starting something new. But rest assured, we are here to guide you step by step. We'll help you to move past this beginner's block and grow confident in your ability to use Canva to achieve your goals. Alright, so what is this course all about? Well, this free course is designed to provide you a solid foundation in Canva. You'll dive into the essentials, from navigating the interface and searching for templates or elements to using text tools and editing photos and videos. And by the end of the course, you'll be crafting beautiful designs for everything, from your social media to professional presentations and beyond. By enrolling in this course, you'll gain access not only to its content, but to a vibrant learning community. We'll invite you to join our private Facebook group to connect with fellow Canva designers, ask questions, share your design, and receive feedback. You'll also receive notifications about our latest YouTube tutorials through educational announcements. And for those of you who want to go deeper, you'll enjoy regular discounts on our other courses published on Udemy. Alright guys, let's dive in. Now, the key to becoming a boss at using Canva is to actively participate and really apply what we will be teaching you in this course to your own design projects. Be curious, explore, and experiment. Let your ideas run wild. Also, remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. This course lays the foundation for you to build your own design empire. With time and practice, your Canva skills will flourish. This is just you laying out the first brick.
Hi, this is Diana. In this video, I'm gonna show you the basics of Canva so you can design anything. I know Canva can feel a little bit intimidating at first, but don't worry. I'll go step by step through all the essential features and tools so that after watching this video, you feel confident navigating and using the platform on your own. I know many of you are just discovering Canva and may not have an account yet. You can easily create one for free with the link that I left in the description. That will open this window, and from here you can create your free Canva account. To sign up, you can use a Google account, Facebook, you can also use your email or your work email, or if you want some other options, you can click here, continue another way. This will give you access to continue with other accounts like Apple, Microsoft, Clever, and even your mobile. After creating your account, go to canva.com. This is the homepage and this is where you are going to start creating any design. On top of the screen, you will see this menu with a lot of different pages that you can read to learn more about Canva. Don't be afraid to click on any of the options that you see on this toolbar because you can always go back to the homepage. On the left panel, you will see another menu. From here, you will always have access access to the home page. You also have access to a page called Magic Studio. From here, you can learn more about all the magic features in Canva. You will have access to all your projects or designs, templates, brand elements, and apps. And in the middle of the screen, you have the options to create new designs, search for templates, or access your recent designs. Canva is known for its templates. You can really spark your creativity and design faster. So let me show you 3 different ways that you can use to search for templates. The first one is that you can search for any template from the home page using this search bar. Let's try to find YouTube thumbnail templates. We're going to type that on this search bar, YouTube thumbnail, and then hit enter. This will take you to this search result from where you can start scrolling down to find the design or the template that you prefer. You will see that some designs have a little crown that says Pro. That means that you need to upgrade to Canva Pro to access these kind of templates. But there are a lot of free templates, and those are the ones without any label on top, like for example this one right here, this one right here. Let me go back to the home page by clicking on this button, and this time let's type TikTok, and instead of hitting enter, I'm gonna click see all. This is going to take me again to the search result, and this time I only see templates to create vertical videos. Coming back to the home page, this time I want to show you what is below the search bar. This time I want to show you the different sections or different document types that you can find in Canva. You find documents, whiteboards, presentations, social media, videos, print products, websites, and more. What I like about these sections is that you can quickly create a blank document with the perfect size for your design, and you will also see a filter result of templates. So let me go to social media to show you what I'm talking about. From here we have Instagram post, Facebook post, Instagram story, and so on. When I hover on any of these options, you will see that I have the option to create blank. This is going to open a new document in the editor with the right size that I need for this design. If you scroll down, there is a section below that says templates, and from here you have some options already filtered by Instagram posts, Facebook posts, Instagram stories, and so on. So from here you will see that the templates are already filtered by the document type that you need. Let me go back all the way up to create a new blank document of an Instagram post. So I'm gonna click here, which is going to open a new document in the editor with the perfect size for an Instagram post. Now let me do a little parenthesis here because I want to show you the second way in which you can access templates inside Canva, and this is out of the editor, so that's why I'm doing the little parenthesis. Canva has template creators, and each of these creators has a profile like this one. You can go to mine to see how a profile looks. You can type canva.com/Diana Muñoz. You can scroll down the profile, and if you like a template that you see, you can click on the template and then click customize this template, which is going to take you to the editor. And from here, you can start editing the template. Let me go back to the profile. Something good about these profiles is that if you like the designs of this creator, you can go up and follow the profile from here. Now coming back to my blank document, I want to show you how to add templates from the editor. You will see a side panel, and from here you are going to open the design tab. This will give you access to the templates section, and from here you can start scrolling down to see if you like any of the templates in here. If you want to search for something in particular, you can use the search bar on top. Let's try something very simple. Let's say that we want to create a design to share our yoga classes. Let's say that we have a yoga studio, and as you can see, I typed yoga classes, hit enter, and these are the templates that I see right now. And as you can see, all the results that we see on this window are now related to yoga classes. So the only thing that I need to do now is to scroll down to find a template, a design that I like. I'm gonna gonna go for this template, and I'm using a Canva free account, so I was paying attention to all the templates without the crown. To bring this template to my blank page, I just need to click and the template will automatically be transferred to your page. Now let me show you how you can change the font, the color of your font, and even the size. You're gonna select the text box that you want to change the font to, and you will see that once you have selected the text box, this toolbar will change. Depending on the element that you have selected, this menu will change. So let me select the image in the back. Pay attention how this toolbar will change. Now I'm gonna select this rectangle shape and pay attention to the toolbar. Finally, let's select the text box because we want to change the font. You will see that the first menu will give you access to all the fonts. From here, you can search for the font that you want to use or simply scroll down. A way that I really love to find the font that I want is by using these buttons right here. These basically work like filters, and this will help you save a lot of time when searching for the right font. Let's say that I want to change these fonts for a font that is more rounded. So I'm gonna use these little filters right here, and there is one called rounded. So when I click here, all the results are now rounded fonts. If you like a font, you're gonna select the font and you will see how it automatically changes on your design. I'm gonna change the font on the following text boxes as well. So I'm gonna select the other text box and select the same font. You will see that now there is a button that is going to save us a lot of time. It says that we can change all the text boxes on this design that has the font Marcellus for Hero. Because I know this is going to save me time, I'm gonna click change all, and all the text boxes with that font changed automatically. Now, I believe this design will look better if I reduce the size of this text box right here. So I'm gonna select this text box, and then you can change the size from here. So reducing the font size, this one is already looking great, so I'm gonna leave it to 44. And then if you want to change the color or the aspect of your text box, you can use the menu in here. Something else that you can do with any element on your design is move its position, so you can drag your element across the design, and you can also rotate elements. So let's say that I want to rotate this one and position it somewhere here. By having the element selected, you will use this button right here, click on it, and then start rotating your element. And if you want to position it somewhere else on your design, you simply need to drag your elements. Now let me go back. There is an action to go back on top of the screen, so I'm gonna click here to undo my two actions. Now let me show you how to change the colors on your elements. I'm gonna change the color to this shape, so I'm gonna select it and then go to the color option on this toolbar. When you click on it, you will see this window appearing, and from here you can select any of the default colors, gradients. So let's say that I want this box to be white. I'm gonna select this one here, and it will change the color automatically. You will also have access to gradients, so you can click on any of the gradients and it will be applied to your shape. If you want to change the colors on your gradient, you can click on this plus icon. This will give you access to the colors on your gradients and the style of your gradient. So I'm gonna change this color here to a yellow color, and then this blue to an orange one. If you want to add transparency to your shape, you can also move this slider to the left to add transparency to your shapes. Now let me close this little window here, and we are using the gradient tab. Let me go to solid color, because from here you can add specific colors. If you have a hex code you want to use on your design, you can add this hex code in here. So this is exactly the same process. Go to the plus icon, make sure that you are under solid color, and then add your hex code here, hit enter, and that will be it. If you want to use a color present on your screen, you're gonna use the color picker, place this picker on top of the color that you want to use. So let's say that I want to use this one here. I'm gonna click one time, and now I have the color on my shape. If you want to customize the text on any template, you're gonna double click on any of the text boxes, and then you will be able to customize your text. And if you want to delete any of the elements present on your design, you're going to select the elements and then click on the trash icon. Now let me show you a cool tip that you can use to change the aesthetic of your design with just a couple of clicks. You're going to go to the design tab, so click here. By default, you will be under the templates section, but we want to be under the styles tab. So we're going to click here, and this will give you access to different combinations of colors and fonts, or color palettes and font combinations. If you want to change the whole aesthetic with just a couple of clicks, go for combinations. I'm gonna click see all to view all the different combinations available. And now, if you want to apply a different style, you're gonna select one that you like and you're gonna click one time. Pay attention to these elements right here. We're gonna change the colors and the fonts with just one click. Okay, I'm gonna click one time, and this is what happens. Now, if you like this style but you want to see a different color combination, click one more time on this shuffle icon and see different combination of colors using exactly the same style. If you want to preview other color combinations, you can click on the other options here and see how they look on your design. I think I'm gonna stay with this one here, so I'm gonna use the black and white. And now let me show you how you can search in the Canva library and add elements to your designs. Let's go to the left panel and this time open the Elements tab. From here, I do recommend you scroll down for you to have an idea of all the different kind of elements you can add to your designs. Now let me go up and let's type on the search bar sparkles and hit enter. You will see the results here divided by different categories, but I want to add graphics. So I'm going to graphics, and from here I see a mix of static elements and animated ones. To bring any kind of element to your design, click on the element and then you can customize it. You can see that this element I can change the color, so I'm gonna make it white. I'm gonna reduce its size and position it next to my title somewhere here. If you want to add animated elements, let me go back to elements. Let's use the same search, go to graphics, and then this time let's add an animated one. I'm gonna reduce its size and position it somewhere else. Now let me show you a really cool trick here, and it is that you can filter these search results by static and also animated. Let's say that you want to find only animated elements with this search. So you're gonna use these settings right here. Gonna click once and then you're gonna filter your results by animated. Gonna click here, close this window by clicking on this icon, and now all of the results that you see on this window are animated. The majority of animated elements that we see here, you won't be able to change the color. You will see that the color option is not available, but some of them, they will have the option. Now let me show you how to replace an image on a template. I'm gonna replace the photo of this woman right here for another one, so I'm gonna use again the Elements tab and I'm gonna search for yoga, hit enter, and instead of going to graphics, I'm going to photos. Because I'm using a Canva free account today, I'm gonna go for a photo that is completely free to use, so I'm gonna make sure that I'm not selecting one with the crown. And now let me scroll down to see if I find a photo that can go well with this design. I found the photo that I want to use, and in order to replace this one, I just need to drag it on top. If you want to adjust the position of the photo, click 2 times, and then you'll be able to reposition your photo and even rotate it with this slider right here. I'm gonna click done. Now let me show you something cool here, because you can replace photos by photos, but you can also replace it with videos. So let's go back to the elements section, and instead of photos, let's go to the videos section, and let's do exactly the same process. I'm gonna take a video and position it on top of my photo, and you will see that now I have a video in the background of my design. Something else that you can do on a Canva document is to work with multiple pages. So in this case, we have only used the first page on the document, but we can add more pages. I'm gonna add a page here, and we're gonna add another template to the second page. Let's go to design. Let's go back. Remember that we were inside the combinations under styles. So make sure that you are under design, but also under templates. We are now going to search for finances. Hit enter, and I'm gonna add this template right here. I'm gonna delete some of these elements here because I want to make room for a chart. Go to elements, let's close this previous search and scroll down until you see the charts section. Click see all, and from here you can preview all the charts that you can create in Canva. Let's try a pie chart. You can reduce its size. Let me delete this other text box, and you can customize the data of your pie chart from here. Let's say that you want to share the percentage of your monthly income. So let's say that you have your income that is 90%, and then your side jobs are the 10% of your income. You're gonna delete the rest of the data that you don't need, and then you will see that your chart has been adjusted. You can also change the color of your charts from here. So let me change the colors to white, and then the other one to black. And you can also change the font of your chart. So you can click here, go back to fonts, and change the color of the font as well if you want. There are plenty of different charts, so I do recommend that you take your time and play around with this, because these are super fun to work with and super easy to adjust. Look at this, how easy it is to design in Canva. Now let me show you a couple of tricks here, and it is that if you have created your chart, you can always go back to edit it. So if you want to edit it, click on the chart. This will open again this window from where you can adjust your chart. So let's say that I want to change the word income for salary to be more precise. And then let's say that you want to say that your salary is only 10% of your total income, and then the side job will be 90%. From here, you can change your donut chart for another kind of chart. So let's say a bar chart. And you can also adjust the settings of your chart in here. Different charts will have different settings. So in this case, I can either show or remove the labels and also the grid lines. I think I want to see the labels, so I'm gonna leave it like this. And I think I was actually happy with how the donut chart looked like. So I'm gonna click here. I'm gonna adjust the colors one more time. So black, and then white. Now the other trick that I want to show you here is that this photo is separated from the background. This one actually has a transparent background. And because it has a transparent background, I can play around with the position of the photo to create dimension. So I'm gonna select the photo, and then on the toolbar on top, select position and bring to front. As you can see, now the hair of the lady is in front of this chart. So now we have a cool 3D effect in here, and I can even reposition the lady closer to the chart. Once you have customized your design and it is ready to download, you are going to click on the share button that you see on top of the screen. You can invite people to this design so they can also edit it, like collaborate in the same design. You're gonna add their email here. So let's say that I want to send this to Ronnie. I'm gonna enter here the complete email and then hit send. Another way to share this design is by creating a collaboration link. So you can select here who can access this design. If you want to be the only one who has access to the design, leave it as it is and then copy link. But if you want to actually collaborate with others, you can select this option that says anyone with a link. You then can decide if you want to create this link for people to be able to view, comment, or edit. I'm gonna leave it as can edit and then copy link. I'm now ready to send this link to a colleague or a friend for this person to be able to enter this document and adjust it if they want. You then have more options to share this design. You can either download it, share it on social media, or print it with Canva. There are plenty of more options available, so I suggest that you click more and scroll down to see all the options available for you to share your design. The one that I use the most is to download my design. So let me go back. This is the window that you see when you click share, and what I usually do is to click download, and from here you can select your file type. You can go up and download it as SPG, PNG, PDF. You can also download it as MP4 video or GIF. Because on the first page I have inserted a video, I'm gonna download it as an MP4. Now, in this document I have created two different pages, so I have the option to select pages. Let me open the drop down, and from here I can either select all the pages or select just the ones that I want to download. Because I want to have the video on page number 1 isolated from page number 2, I'm just going to select page 1, click done, and then download. I just want to remind you that I have used a free account to be able to create this video, and because I only used free elements, I won't have any watermark on my final video. Now, let's say that I also want to download page number 2. I'm gonna click share, download, and this time, because on page number 2 we don't have any animations or any videos, I'm gonna download it as a PNG. Again, I'm gonna make sure that I only have page 2 selected, click done, and then download. Once your design is ready, you will get this pop-up window for you to be able to rename your design if you want. So let me rename this one finances, and then simply click save for you to save this file on your computer. Now let me show you the designs that I just downloaded from Canva. This one is the video that we had on page number 1. As you can see, there are no watermarks and the video looks great. It looks very professional. We used a free template, free elements, and a free video, so I'm really happy with the results. And then we have this design that we could use on social media. We also used a free template and a customizable chart.
Where are my... I'm sure they were... Oh, there they are. There you go. Yeah. Sometimes things get lost. And unfortunately, that happens in Canva too. There's so many things. In this video, I'm gonna show you how to search for and find anything you need in Canva. Alright guys, we are going to start by searching using the search bar from the Canva homepage. So on top of the homepage, in this header section, you should see a big prominent search bar. So if we start searching here, for example, if we search for the word Facebook, okay, I just typed in Facebook, didn't do anything else, and this is what I see. All right, so the first thing I want to explain to you is that you can either search for different templates containing the keyword you entered here. So here, Facebook. So that would be by default the first tab, at least for now. Or you could search and switch to the second tab here that says projects. And when you do that, you will be searching for the designs you have created that contain the keyword Facebook. And when I mean Facebook, it could be Facebook in the title of the document, like here, for example, if my cat was on Facebook, or it could be simply a keyword that is inside one of your Canva designs. Canva also can search the text inside your design. So that's the first thing that is important to know, is that you can search for templates Okay, so for example, Valentine's Day Facebook post, Christmas Facebook post, etc., etc. Or you can search your own designs. Now, if we come back to the templates, you can search for different things. The first thing is that you can search for template categories. For example, like we said, Valentine's, Christmas, etc. So let's try Valentine's Facebook post. So this should bring us to the templates library. You see, we are in Home Templates, and we are searching for a specific category of templates, Valentine's Day. Okay, so from here, I can see a bunch of Valentine's Day template. And I can also use the filters. Okay, so you have a bunch of different filters here on the left side column. If you click on all filters, you can filter by category as well. So business, social media, education, etc. Or you can filter by media as well. All right, I'm not gonna get too deep into this, just wanted to show you. I'm gonna come back to the home page and my search right here. That's the first thing you see here. So that's the little magnifier without anything else. So this will help you find categories of templates. Next, we have a magnifier with a little bit of spark right here. So this is the magic design feature. So this is AI helping you generate a specific type of design based on your keyword. So here, what I am suggesting, a beautiful Facebook cover image of a nighttime cityscape. So basically, you can type in a couple of keywords here, and the AI will generate a template for you based on what you wrote. Okay, so let's just try one of the suggested here. Craft a Facebook cover image of a vibrant graffiti art. So if I click here, the AI is going to do its thing, and I am going to be presented by a couple of designs right here that should be Facebook covers. You see, they're all Facebook cover dimensions for me to start with. So that's just another way Canva is giving us to not start from a blank page. Now, it is possible that you don't see this feature in your Canva account. That doesn't mean it is a pro feature. This is my Canva free account. So if I see it, it's not a pro feature, but it is possible that it's not yet available in your country or in your language. All right. So for now, what I know is that it works in the English language for Canva. So if you want to get access to this, maybe try switching your account to the English language. Maybe it shows up there. All right, so that was Magic Design. Let's come back to the homepage one last time and let's continue exploring what we have here. So we've seen we have template categories, we have the Magic Design suggestions, and then when you see little icons like this, like you see a Facebook ad, a Facebook app ad, so these are what we call document types. So Canva has all of these document types or formats with the perfect dimensions to create all sorts of documents. So that is what these are when you see these icons right here. Now, if we switch over to projects, the last thing I want to show you from here is that you can also use the filters right here. So if you click on this little icon, you should see 4 different categories of filters. The first one of these filters is owner. All right, so this is if you are working with a team, which is not my case here. I'm using my free account. But if you were working with a team, you could search for design created by other people in your team from here by using this filter, the owner. Next one is type. Okay, so here you can search for type of document. So it could be any type, it could be a design, could be a brand template, okay, or it could be a folder. And folder here means a Canva folder where you are organizing different kinds of designs. All right, so that is the second filter, type. We also have category. Okay, so category is the different document types that could be very useful. So you have all of your classic, I would say, document types in Canva. And the last one is the date. So this is very useful. You could search for design that you have created at any time, designs created today, yesterday, the last month, last 3 months, or the last year. So this also could be very useful. If you want to clear filters very easily, you can come back to the beginning. And if you have a filter applied, for example, let's say I want design types, only designs, you can come back to your filters like so and clear all filters. All right, so that was very cool. But what about searching from inside the Canva editor? Canva also allows us to search in a multitude of different ways from within the Canva editor or the design area. So here, the first thing we need to decide is, what are we searching for? Ask yourself this question, like, what am I searching for? Are you searching for a template? Are you searching for a graphic? Are you searching for a photo? That will depend where you start your search. So by default, you will be on the Design tab. The Design tab is where you will find all of your templates, but also some layouts and some styles, okay? So layouts and styles will be only for Canva Pro users. So if you go back to the Templates tab right here, this is where you can search for a template. Because this is a presentation document, Canva is showing me presentation templates. So I can search here, for example, I want a business presentation. I can just type in business presentation, then click enter, and my searches right here, my search results are going to focus on business presentations in the type of a presentation deck. All right, so that is the first tab right here that says design. The second tab is very interesting and has different layers to it. This tab called elements is where you will find your photos, your graphics, your elements, you know, your shapes, your lines, all of this. So right here, I'm going to search for something different. Let's say a rubber duck. So I start typing rubber and I see a recent search, rubber duck, right here. So I love that Canva shows us our recent searches. We can clear that if we want with the clear button, but I find it quite useful. So when I click on rubber duck, this is what I will get. And this is kind of like a mix of different design ingredients. So I see I have some graphics here, I have some photos, some videos, and some audio clips, which is interesting. So by default, you will be on the All tab right here. Right under my search box, I have these tabs that I can click on. So you have graphics, photos, videos, and here we have additional ones like shapes, audio, frames, and charts. Some will be empty, there will be no results there, but the first ones are quite interesting. So if I click on graphics, for example, I will be showed only graphical elements. So not a photo, but a graphic, an illustration in Canva. All right, so obviously it will be full of rubber ducks, and you will quickly notice that some of them have a little crown, which means they are pro elements, only available for pro users. So what happens if you click on one? Well, it will certainly show on your page, but it will have a Canva watermark. And if you export this design, Canva won't let you export it without paying for that specific element. Now, if you upgrade to a Canva Pro account, you will have access to all of these elements and photos that have a little crown on them. So that is quickly the difference between the Pro elements and the free elements. So if I want a free element that I can use here with my free account, I need to find one that doesn't have a crown on it. So for example, this one right here. So if you click it, it will get on your page and it doesn't have a watermark. So that's the first thing I want to show you, because I am on the graphics tab right here. What I'm looking for is a photo. I can simply switch over to the photo tab, and here I will get different other things here. So I will have photos without a background, like the first ones that I see here, and I will have full frame photos with a background. For example, this golden duck here. If I continue scrolling, I will have different prompts. So for example, you're not finding a rubber duck, you can generate a rubber duck with an app in Canva. We'll see about that in a different video. Let's find a photo, a free photo like this one. See, it doesn't have a little crown, with a rubber duck. All right, so I think you get the point. You can search for graphics, photos, videos. Might be hard sometimes to find specific video clip as a free user because most of them are pro, as you can see here, lots of little crowns here. You can search for other things like shapes, audio, like a rubber duck squeaking kind of sound, which could be cool. But yeah, these are also pretty much only pro elements. So this is the first way really to search for ingredients, design ingredients from within the Canva editor. All right, so before we move down to the other tabs right here and that I show you how to search in these, I want to give you a tip. Let's say you like and you regularly search for photos or for graphics or for both in Canva, and you don't want to type your search and then have to use these filters right here. Well, there is a way to pin these ingredient categories, these element categories, straight into your object panel right here. The way to do that is to use the apps button. So I go to apps, and then from here, You see more from Canva. I can open my photos, again, going back to apps. I can have my videos, again, back to apps, and I can have, for example, my audio. And you see what Canva did here? It pinned these 3 element category right here. So now when I click on one, when I click on photo, for example, I am immediately searching for photos. If I switch over to my videos, I am immediately searching for videos. So that is just a little tip I'm giving you here. If you are using these categories very often, you can have them pinned right here in your object panel. But now I'm just going to close these tabs, okay, because I like to keep it clean here. All right, let's now quickly go over the different tabs here. So the next one would be text. Text also has a search bar. So for example, you can search for a keyword like playful. Type in playful, enter, and Canva will show you either a font name that contains your keyword, or if you use a broader keyword, like for example, fun, type in fun, you will have a bunch of different fonts that have been kind of categorized as fun by Canva, right? So that is how you use the text and the search in text, or you can type in a precise font type. That will work too if you know the name. Next, brand, there's nothing to search here. Uploads, you can search for anything in your uploads, all right? So it doesn't read the images yet. So if you search for something, that keyword needs to be part of your title, the way you have renamed anything you have uploaded here. For example, if I search for Ronnie and run that search, I find a few images of myself. If I click on the 3 little dots, I see Ronnie yellow. So Ronnie in Chiang Mai. Okay, so you see my name, which is the keyword we search for, was included in the title of each of these photos. So that's why it found them. So that's also why it could be very interesting when you upload things into Canva to name them correctly. All right, and then the last thing you can search for is project. And project works just like the project tab from the homepage. So you can search here from any of your designs, folders, or assets you have uploaded into Canva. And you have a visual representation of all of your folders, your hierarchy, the things that you have organized in Canva. All right, let me show you 1 or 2 more things before I wrap up this lecture. And now we are getting into the crunchy tips, you know, like the master stuff. All right, so the first pro tip here is that you can use filters even from within the editor. So the filters are right here. If you click on it, you can search for different things that you didn't have access to from the homepage. For example, you can search for a specific color. All right, so if I'm looking for a pink rubber duck, I can click on pink and this will set pink as my filter, come back here and search again, and I will find now only pink rubber ducks or rubber duck related items. So for example, here is one, a pink rubber duck. So that is the filter. What else can we filter for? We can filter for orientation, so square, vertical, or horizontal, which could be very useful if we are searching for photos, for example. We can search for animated or static elements, which could also be very useful if you are searching for a sticker. For example, you could filter by only the animated, all right? Animated and pink. So I still have my 2 filters, you see? So let's see if we run this. Well, there is none. Maybe I get rid of the pink color. There you go. So now only animated ducks should be able to find some in my graphics. Yeah, you see this one is an animated sticker and all of these too. But this one is kind of like the most fun of the bunch right here. All right, so that's how you use the filters. And then the last tip, which is probably the best tip of this video, is that you can use the 3 little dots right here. Let me clear out the filters here. So I'm gonna clear the filters, come back to my rubber duck search, find one that you like. For example, this guy right here, pretty cool, looks a bit dangerous with a knife, but you can click on the 3 little dots and this will give you some extra information about this specific element. In this case, it's a graphic. So you can see more like this one by clicking on this option of the menu right here. So if I click see more, Canva will search for more elements that are similar to this one. And you see, this is pretty accurate. I have a bunch of similar graphics. Now, if I come back and And sometimes elements will be part of collections. You see, this one is not. Now let me find another duck because I want to show you one last thing. You see this pixelated duck right here? If I click on it, sometimes elements are part of collections. So if you see an item like this that says view collection, it could be a very good way to find related consistent element that looks similar to the one you're searching for. So let's click on view collection. And now you see my pixelated duck right here. I have this entire collection from the same Canva contributor, which is part of a set of pixelated elements. So that is what Canva calls a collection. Now, this could be really useful to, create consistency in one of your designs. Working with text in Canva is one of my favorite things to do, but I have to admit, finding or mixing and matching the right fonts among Canva's thousands of possibilities can be a bit of a finding Waldo moment for a Canva beginner. In this video, I'm going to share some tips for finding the right fonts in the library and how to best work with text in Canva. All right, folks, I am here in a Canva document, and I will start by showing you two different ways you can use to add text to your design. The first one is simply to head over the text tab right here in the object panel. So click on that. And from here, you can simply add a text box by using this purple button. This will add a text box to your design, or you can choose one of the text default styles that you have here. Okay, so if you want a bigger title, you can click on add a heading. All right, so Canva free users won't be able to customize these default text styles, but Canva Pro users can do so via the brand kit. The second way, which is kind of like a shortcut, is to simply use the T key on your keyboard. So if I press T, there you go, it creates a text box, which will be similar to the last text box I have created in a Canva design. So there you go, two easy ways to add a text box to your design. Right, now let me show you how you can style the different text boxes you have created. So what I'm going to do is to start by changing the font of my main heading right here. In order to change the font of any text box on your document, you first will need to select that text box. Then once you have it selected, head over the upper section of your screen and identify the font box right here. This will open this menu right here in the left side of your screen. So from here, you can search for a specific font if you know their name. For example, Montserrat. So you start typing Mons, you see the different fonts that start with this letter combination. And in the results, you will see some free fonts, those without a little crown, and some Canva Pro only fonts. Those will be the ones with the little crown on them. Okay, so that's the first thing you can do. Search for a specific font if you know its name. If you don't know the name, but you know kind of the style of font you're going for example, I'm looking for a bold font, you can type in bold and Canva will suggest a bunch of different fonts that are bolder, kind of thicker, heavier fonts that would be appropriate for a headline, for example. So you can see all of these. And again, you will have a mixed bag of results, right? Pro and free fonts. So one thing you can do if you don't want to have this combination of free and pro fonts is to use the filters right here. So you can click on show filters. You can select, for example, here on the price to show only the free fonts, okay, and apply. And now when you search for bold, you'll only have free fonts results right here, which is pretty convenient. It allows you to only see what you can actually use as a free user. All right, so let's change this heading for something bold that I found here. For example, notable. There you go. This is pretty cool. There you go. This is a much better message. So coming back to our search font here, I showed you how you can search for a specific keyword, right? Bold, for example, or you could have fun and you'd have some fun fonts. And if you don't know, or if you're not inspired, you can always look at these tags that Canva is suggesting right here. So you have paragraph, sans serif, serif, modern, bold, rounded, elegant. So you have a bunch of different things you can try here if you don't feel inspired or simply don't know what to search for. Now, I want to show you something else while searching for fonts. Let's say I want to style the second text box right here. So again, selecting it, coming back to my font box right here. Let's say I want to explore the Montserrat font and font family. One thing you will notice is that in your font results, some of them will have a little arrow that is actually clickable right here in front of them. For example, the Montserrat has this little arrow. If you click it, you should see different font weight. We call these font weight for a specific font family. So here we are talking about the Montserrat family, and you have Montserrat thin, extra light, light, regular, medium, semi-bold, bold, extra bold, and black. Now, this is very useful when working with typography because it allows you to have more flexibility while working with your text, creating contrast between thin and bold font, or highlighting specific words or part of a sentence by using these different weight in the font family. So that is pretty much how you can change the font of any text box in Canva. Now, let me show you other ways you can style your text. Once you have the text box selected, this is the base, is to look up right here and find this menu right here. So you can obviously change the size of that font, that text, okay, by playing around with the box here. You can enter a value manually, okay? You can use the plus and minus. So there's a bunch of different things you can do. Next is the color button. This will allow you to quickly change the color of your text. Next, you have your bold, italic, underline, strike through buttons, and these will not work with every single font. For example, if I come back to my Montserrat here, I do have the option to bold it, put it italic and stuff like that. But if I work with this text box, you see the bold font is not available. So it will depend on the font family, okay? So these are your classic things. You have your upper and lowercase, okay, to quickly toggle between uppercase, lowercase. That's pretty cool. You have your alignment button to justify your text to the left, to the right, centered. You can create bullet lists or numbers lists as well with Canva. Then you have your spacing button, which will allow you to add more space between the letters. So that's letter spacing, or between the lines if you have different lines of text. Here I have individual lines of text, so it won't change much. And then last but not least, you can style your text with the effects button. So if you have your text box selected, click on effects. This should open a new panel right here on the left side with your different effects. Okay, so you will have some shadow effects. You can play around with that shadow. You can change its color. So each effect, each text effect will have its own settings. You have your hollow effect, you have splice, outline type of effects. That could be very interesting to create easy outlines. You have your background effect, which I use quite a lot behind your letters. All right, if you want to reset, you can use the none button here, the first one. And last thing I want to show you, also have some shape effects. So there's only one for the moment, which allows you to curve your text in Canva. Okay, so you can just move that slider to curve your text one way or another, which could be pretty interesting. So these are the text effects. Now, let me wrap up this lecture by giving you a few tips on how to pair fonts, how to combine fonts in Canva. The most important thing, in my opinion, when combining fonts is to look for contrast. A couple of different ways you could go about creating contrast with your font, with typography, is to go with a bold font, for example, this one right here on top, combined with a thin font, this one right here. You could go for another type of combination, tall versus short. You see, this font right here is much taller than this one right here, so tall versus short. You could go for serif versus sans serif. And the serif are these little legs at the end of your letters here. So this is a serif font, and this one is a sans serif because you don't see these little legs attached to the letters. All right, so serif versus sans serif. And yet another way to create contrast, and this is not an exhaustive list, like there are plenty of ways to create contrast, but another one that I like to use is to use a display or a fun kind of font combined with a more serious font. So we see here, we have knowledge is power in a kind of a display font, a more fun, more fantasy font, combined with Montserrat, which is a normal serious font, I would say. This is also good for creating contrast. All right, moving on. There's something else I want to show you about creating font combinations in Canva. Canva actually gives us a bunch of different resources that we can leverage to create these combinations. So if you click on the text tab right here in the object panel and scroll down a bit, you should see some font combination that have been preset for you. Some of them will be free to use, those without the crown, and some will be pro only, but these are usually, and especially if you scroll further down, like you see there, you have some with effects applied to them in colors, but some are black and white, like this one right here, or this one right here, or again, these ones right here. So you see all of these are actually combination of text boxes. If I click on one, I can ungroup them and I can count 1, 2 text boxes. Again, here, 1, 2 text boxes. So here is an attempt from Canva to create specific font combination for us. So look for these. These could be very useful. So again, to find them, click on your text tab and then you simply scroll down and you should see them right here. Now there is one last thing I want to show you, another asset that Canva is giving us in order to combine fonts. I have here a template that I just imported from the template library, and I'm going to head over the first tab right here, the design tab in my object panel. Click on it and find the third tab right here that says style. When you click on style, you should see a bunch of different preset combinations. So some will be color palettes, some will be combination of color palette and font combination. And if you scroll down enough, you should see font sets right here. So if you click on see all, you should see some predefined font combinations as well. So if I select this page right here and click on any of these combinations, let me find one that I like, this one, Canva will automatically switch my fonts on my design for the ones that I see here. So I should see chunk 5 and collective. So indeed, this is chunk 5 and this is collective. If I want to change them again, could find another one. Let's say this one, glacial indifference and HK grotesque. There you go, glacial and HK grotesque.
Transform a simple photo like this into something like this, or even this. Let me start with a pretty cool trick, and it is that you can upload and edit your photos directly from the Canva homepage without having to create a new document. On the upper right corner, you will see a button that says upload. You're gonna click here and then you can either drop the files here or you can choose the files from your computer by clicking this button. I'm gonna drag my photo here. Canva is going to open the photo in this pop-up window, and we have a kind of hidden button that says edit photo. The button is here, so let me click on it. The window you see here allows you to quickly edit your photos. Though you may not have access to all of the features you can find in the editor, it is still quite complete. So let me give you a quick example and then we'll dive deeper into the features that you will find in the editor. Here you've got 3 different sections that will help you in editing your images. We have effects, adjust, and crop. In this section, you'll be able to crop your image. So you have the freeform option. Like this, you'll be able to crop a little section of your photo if that's what you want. Let me go to reset. And then you also have some aspect ratios. So let's say that you want your photo to be square. You can click on this option and then you can adjust the photo so you can crop out the sections that you don't want to see. You have some other aspect ratios in here. And finally, you also have the option to rotate your photo. So you can use this slider or you can enter a value in here and hit enter. I'm going to leave my photo as it was, so I'm going to click reset and then let's go to adjust. In here we have this button to auto adjust the image, so let me click so you can see what's gonna happen. Canva has automatically adjusted the colors on this image and you can give more intensity to this edit or reduce the intensity by moving the slider to the left. I'm going to leave the intensity to 0 and then you can continue editing your photo with the sliders and the options that you have in here. So I want to reduce a little bit the brightness in here, maybe bring more contrast and increase the saturation just a tiny bit. All of these settings that you see in here are pretty standard and you will see them in most of the photo editing platforms. Now let's go to the effects section. We see in here 3 different magic tools which are are pretty useful. I use them a lot. You then have filters, and you can see more filters by clicking here. There are different categories, and you can discover more filters by clicking on these arrows. If you want to see one of these filters on your image, you can click on the filter, and then you also have this slider so you can adjust the intensity of the filter on your image. If you're not happy with the filter that you have applied to your image, you can go up and select none. I think I'm gonna stay with the Nordic filter, so I'm gonna apply it and reduce the intensity and then go back. Down here you have effects, so you can add shadows, you can play around with the focus on your image, you can add the blur effect, duotone, and then you also have a face retouch. Let me go back. I'm gonna play with this option here. I really like this one because it adds this portrait effect to the photos. So I'm gonna reduce the blur intensity just a tiny bit, go back, and then let's add a face retouch. Okay, I think that's good. You can always compare your previous image with the edited one with this button here. So let's hold down this button to see the previous image. And when you release the button, you see the edited photo. So let me go back, and I'm going back to adjust, add some contrast to the photo. Let's see what happens if I add more saturation to the photo, reduce a tiny bit the vibrance, maybe add some blacks, go again to compare. So I'm holding down the button, releasing. I think I'm liking this edited version. I'm just gonna increase the whites a tiny bit, and then let's go back to effects. From here, you have two options that are available for Canva Pro users. With this one, you can remove sections or details from your photo, and with this one, you can change or replace things on your image. So I have a Canva Pro account, and I'm gonna show you how this magic eraser works. You will see that you can adjust the size of the brush of this magic eraser. So I'm gonna leave it very small because I want to remove this white dots from my beanie. These are just tiny details, but this is going to help my photo look more polished and more professional. I'm also going to remove this little cord in here. So let's see the before and after. Before, after. I am happy with the results, so I'm gonna save this image. You can click on this button that says save, and then you will have two different options. You can save it to Canva to use it later in any kind of design. Or let's say that you don't want to work with this photo in a design, but you want to upload it on your profile picture on Instagram, or you want to publish it as a post on Instagram. So you're gonna download it and save it to your computer. I'm going to save this photo to Canva as well to show you that the edited photo is then saved in the uploads folder on your Canva account. Now let me show you how to edit a photo in an existing design or in a template. I'm gonna use a template, so I'm gonna search for coffee Instagram post, hit enter. From here you can select any template. It will depend if you have a Canva Pro account or free account. You will see the little crown on the Pro templates. I'm going for this one. This one is free, so I'm clicking on the image and then customize this template. Now, what are your options to add an image to your design? You can either go to Elements, and from here you can go to the Photos section. Click here where it says See All, and then you can search for anything that you need. So let's say that you need a coffee photo, so I'm gonna search for coffee and use any of the photos available in here. Of course, it will depend if you have a Canva Pro account or free account. If you want to replace the photo that you see on your template, you simply need to drag your image over the existing one. So I'm dragging this photo over the one on the template, and that's it. If you want to upload your own images, you can go to Uploads, click Upload Files. You're going to select your photo, click Open, and then your photo will be ready to be used. You can simply, again, drag your image over the one in the template, and then you'll be working with your own image. Now, I can see that the text that we have in here, it's a little bit difficult to read, so let's edit this photo. I'm gonna close this window here so we can focus on the design. Now, I'm gonna select the photo so we can access more tools on this white toolbar. From here, you can flip your image, so you can flip it horizontally or vertically. Going back, I think I'm gonna leave the image like this. We can add transparency to this design, so let's move the slider to the left. And when you move the slider to the left, you will have access to the background color. In this case, we have a black color, and it works really well in this design because we have a yellow and white text on top. But you can change this color if you want. So let me click here and show you that you can choose any color, and like this you can have different looks on your photo. I think I'm gonna leave this dark brown in the background. Now let me show you a pretty cool feature that it is available only inside the editor. Let me go to elements, and this time I'm gonna use this photo right here. Now, having the photo selected, we are gonna open the edit photo section. This is going to open this edit window, and we have the same sections that we saw before in the homepage. So we have effects, adjust, and crop. We have more features in here, like for example the magic expand feature, which is the same one we see in crop. We have here crop and expand. So let's go to effects and let me show it to you. This one is a Canva Pro feature, so let me click on this option, and now from here you can expand the image with the help of the artificial intelligence in Canva. And now we can select different sizes. We can fill the page with the image, so whole page, or we can make this photo a square format by clicking here, and then we have some other different formats. I'm gonna select the option that says whole page and then click magic expand. Canva is going to generate 4 different options, and you can preview them here on your design by clicking on them. So we have already the 4 images. We are seeing the first option, which actually looks pretty good. Let me see the second one, third one, fourth one. And let me go with the second one. If you don't like any of the 4 options, you can click generate new results. I'm gonna stay with this one, so click done. Now let's try some other editing tools. So let's go back to edit photo, and from here let's play around with duotone. This one, it's a pretty cool effect and very easy to use. You have a lot of different options in here, so you can select any of them and automatically change the look of the image. I think I'm going for this one, and if you want to be very detailed and use maybe your branded colors, you can change them from here. And you also have access to the intensity slider. I think I'm gonna leave this image like this, and if I go back to this design, I can simply take this text, Ctrl+C, go to page 2 and Ctrl+V. If you don't want to use any of these duotone effects, you can come back up and click none. Now let me go back and add one of my photos because I want to show you another tool that is so useful in Canva. So let me increase the size of the photo here, and now let's go to edit photo. From here we are going to use magic edit. This one is free to use, so let's click on it, and now let's brush over an area of my photo. In this case I want to ask Canva to add a wolf. So after selecting the area where I want the wolf to appear, I'm going to click continue, and then I'm gonna type add a wolf, then click generate, and we will see 4 different options. If you don't like these 4 options, you know that you can always click generate new results until you find something that looks good. And now look at this result. This one, I believe it looks decent. Now let me go and add another page to try something different. So let's use this photo, go to edit photo and magic edit again. This time I want to change the color of my beanie, so let's brush over this area. And because I'm wearing a blue jacket and a blue backpack, why not change color to blue? Click generate, and now as you can see, I have 4 different versions of this beanie in a blue color, so I think I'm gonna go with this one. Click done. And to me, if you look at this photo quickly, it looks very realistic. And now I want to show you something else before I show you how to download these images. I'm gonna click on the image, go to edit photo, and because I have a Canva Pro account, I can use the background remover. So let me click here and Canva will automatically remove the background on my photo. So this is just gonna take a couple of seconds. It is done as I was talking. So I already have a transparent background behind me. You can change the color here if you want. So I'm clicking on the background of this page just to show you that I have a transparent background behind my photo, or basically I removed the background. And let me just remove the color from here. And now, how do we download these images? We're gonna go to share, we're gonna click download, and from here you can select the file type. We have all of these options to choose from. I'm gonna leave it as PNG. If you are using a Canva free account, you then have the option to select the page that you want to download if you have multiple pages, and then you are going to click download. If you have a Canva Pro account, you will have access to these 3 different options here. You can increase the quality of the file that you are going to download. Let's say that you are going to download a photo like this one in which we don't have a background, so I'm gonna select page 4, and then I'm going to click transparent background to show you later how this is going to look. And then if you want, you can also compress the file. I'm going to download this image, I'm going to add a page, and I'm going to upload the file that I just downloaded. As you can see, my photo is here and I don't have any background, so let me go to elements. I'm going to select a random photo in here, put it in the background, and then position my photo without the background in here. And lastly, I just wanted to remind you that yes, you can play around with your own images, but there are plenty of images in the library. So you go to elements, remember to go to photos, see all, and then you can search for anything from here. So let's say that I want to see a winter landscape and position it behind me. So I'm going to drag this photo behind my photo and create pretty cool compositions, mixing your photos and the photos in the library. Let's start by creating a new video project in Canva. Once you are logged in into your Canva account, this is what you will see. And to be able to create a new video project, you are going to open the video tab. You will see that below the search bar we have different options, and one of them is video. Click here to see all the different video formats that you can create in Canva. Then you will see that you can create landscape mode videos, vertical videos, square videos, and some formats that will adapt perfectly to any kind of social media that you are creating for. So for example, this one works really well for Facebook, this one for Instagram Reels, TikTok, YouTube, and so on. You can see other formats if you click on this little arrow. Let me go back because I want to create a landscape mode video. From here, you can either click on the thumbnail of the format that you want to create a blank document. This is going to create an empty video project. But if you want to create a video using a template, you are going to click on this magnifying icon to browse templates. So I'm gonna click here, and this is going to take me to this template search result. You have so many different template options in here. You have some templates that are available only to Canva Pro users, but if you see a template without this little crown, like for example this one, this template is free to use to all Canva users, even if you have a free account. Once you find a template that you like and you want to use, you're gonna click on the thumbnail of the template and then click customize this template. This is going to create a new video project with the template already applied, and from here you can customize everything about the template, every single color, text box, and element. And before we start customizing or editing this video, I want to show you how to navigate in the editor so you know where are all the tools located and you don't feel overwhelmed. Let's start by talking about the gradient bar that we see on top of the screen. On the left hand side, you will see a burger menu, which is going to give you access to different actions available from the home page. So from here, you see that you can create a new design, go to home, see your projects, the projects share with you, and so on. Let me close this window. This button is going to take you directly to the home page. File is going to open a menu that is going to be very useful when you are going to start editing the video. From here, you can rename your file. So you can either click on this title or click on this pencil icon and rename your file. You can create a new design, import files. From here, you can add or remove rulers and guides. As you can see, the rulers on my design are activated, and when I click here, they are deactivated now. Let me go back to file, because from here you can save your file or your video project into a particular folder. You can create a copy, download your video, and so on. You then have this resize and magic switch. This is a feature available only to Canva Pro users, and this will allow you to resize your document to a different format. So for example, in here we have a landscape mode video, and I could resize it to a square format or a mobile video format with just a click if you have a Canva Pro account. Everything that you see with this little crown is available only to Canva Pro users. Next, you have the undo and redo actions. So you can basically click these two buttons, or you can use Ctrl Z or Shift Ctrl Z to undo and redo the actions. On the right hand side of this gradient bar, you will see again the name of your document. You can click here if you want to rename your document again. So video tutorial 2, hit enter, and that's it. I'm going to delete these two and leave it as it is. You also have a button for you to preview the video that you are editing, which is this one. And then you have the share button. This will allow you to share this video project. You can share it as a link. You can also share it directly to social media, or you can download it. Now let me answer a common question before we move on. Where is our video saved, and how can we reopen it if we want to change anything? Let me go back to the home page. So I'm gonna click on the home button. Once in the home page, you will see that your video document is under recent designs. You can access this video document by clicking on the thumbnail, and this is going to take you back to the editor where you will be able to edit and customize your video. Now let's talk about a toolbar that you are going to use a lot in Canva, and especially when editing videos. You will see that right below the gradient bar, there is a white bar. This white bar will have different actions depending on the elements that you are selecting on the document. At the moment, you only see this button that says position, but if I select a video on my document, in this bar will appear different tools. So let me click on the video, pay attention to this white bar, and now you will see a lot of different buttons that will allow you to edit, customize, and adjust this video. From here you have the button that says edit video. From here you have effects, and also you can adjust your video. So under effects you have a pro action, which is background remover. This will allow you to remove the background of your video with just one click. You will see here that you have a lady, and when you click background remover, you remove the background. So basically you can position this lady on top of any kind of background. You can select a solid color, or you can use another video in the background. You also have different filters. You can click see all to see all the different filters that you can apply to your video. If you want to apply any of these filters, simply click on the filter and you will see that the image, the colors on your video will change. Let me try another one. So basically you can play around with these filters, you can reduce the intensity or increase it. You also have grayscale and one that is completely black and white. And if you want to remove these filters, simply click none and go back. Under the adjust section, you will see that you are able to adjust the warmth of your video. You can make it warmer or you can make it look colder. You also can change the tint of the video by moving this slider right here. You can adjust the brightness, contrast, highlights, shadows. You can add a fade effect to your video. Okay. You can also adjust the color, so vibrance, saturation. You can also add this X process effect. And lastly, you have a vignette texture that you can add to your videos. In this video right here, it's a little bit difficult to preview because it's already dark. So let me try another video to show you how this looks. So I'm clicking on edit video, adjust and vignette. So pay attention to the corners of the video because we have a subtle shadow effect or a vignette effect. So now it's very clear the corners of the video, and when I move this slider to the right, you will see the vignette effect being applied. Let me delete this page and go back to the white toolbar. Now let me select this text box and pay attention to this white toolbar because again it's going to change, and in this case we will see buttons that will allow me to customize this text box. So in here we can change the font size, the color of your text, and then you will see that there are some other tools that you can use to customize the look of your text. There is something in particular here that I want to show you, which are effects. This is a pretty cool and very useful feature because it will allow you to give different styles to your text. So let me show you quickly here that you can add an outline. This is very trendy nowadays when it comes to video editing. So click here and you can change the color of the outline of your text from here. I'm gonna add a white color, and then if you want to change the color inside your text, you're gonna change it from here. Another style that is very used in video editing is this one that says background, and from here you can adjust the roundness of this box that is behind your text. You can adjust also the spread, and you can also adjust the transparency of this background, and finally the color. I'm gonna remove the effects by clicking here where it says none, and then I'm gonna show you another cool feature that you find on this toolbar, which is this one. You will see at the moment that it says stump because this text box has already an animation, but normally if you don't have any animation applied, you will see that the button is called animate. So I'm selecting the text box, click on animate, and then you will see that there is this window appearing on the left, which allows you to add animations to your elements. In this case, I'm gonna add an animation to this text box. And in this case, because I have selected a text box, you will see some animations that are available only for text boxes. And these are under this section called writing. So you will see that all of these animations are only for text boxes. I really like this one that says typewriter because it has this effect as if we were typing each single letter in the word. So I'm gonna choose this one right here, and then you will see that when you select any of these animations, you will have extra options that will allow you to customize this animation. Some of these options will be available only for Canva Pro users, so pay attention to the little crowns that appear in here. Now let's talk about the resource panel that we see on the left hand side. You will see different icons in here, and when you click on any of these icons, there is a window that will appear in here. In this case, under design, we have access to all of the templates, and we can look for any kind of template by using the search bar in here. If you look below the search bar, you will see that we are situated right now under templates, but there is another section called styles. From here, if you have a Canva Pro account and you have set up your brand kit, you will be able to apply your own style to these templates. So if I wanted to use my brand fonts, I can click here. I can also click on my branded colors and apply these colors to this page. I could do the same on the following pages, so I can quickly change the look of this template and use something that is more aligned to my brand. Let me go back so we can have the original colors from the template that I used. If you don't have a Canva Pro account, if you haven't set up a brand kit, you can still use these style combinations. So you will see that there are some styles already made with a mix of color palette and font selections. So when you click on any of these options, you will see that the style on your design will change. You can also do it by using only the color palette option or only the font sets. Let's move on and let's open elements. This is one of the sections that you will use the most. From here, you will have access to different shapes, graphics. You can use Canva's AI image generator. You can also use animated illustrations that are called stickers in here. You have access to the photo, video, and audio library. You can also create charts and tables in Canva. You have access to frames and grids, which are going to help you cut your videos or photos into very creative shapes. Let me show you. I'm gonna add a new page and add a frame right here. Let's say that I want to add a video to my project, but I want to have something that looks more creative. I don't want just to simply see the video in the landscape mode. I want to see it cropped into a bubble. So I'm going to drag the video into the frame, and as you can see, we have now the video cropped into a circle, and you are going to see it like this. You can also play around with these frames. You can adjust the size, make it bigger if you want, or you can double click on the frame and adjust the position of your video. So let's say that you just want to see the face of the lady right here. So you can increase the video size and then hit done, maybe reduce the size of the frame, and that's it. Let me play it. There you go. Let's continue and let's go to text. From here, you can add new text boxes to your design. You can see that I just clicked on this button and I have now a new text box. Let me delete it for now. And then below you will see some font combinations that you can add to your design, and some of them will already have some styles applied. So for example, this one right here has this neon effect applied, and you can actually change the text of these text boxes. So in here I see that we have two text boxes because we see this button that says ungroup, so I'm going to ungroup them. And let's say that I want to say hello Monday. It's pretty easy. I just double clicked on the two text boxes and I was ready to customize the text box, and I can keep the same font and same effect as in this font template right here. Right below text we see brand. This option is going to be very useful if you have a Canva Pro account and if you are using a branded color palette and a font set. From here you can use your brand templates. You can also upload your logos and use them from here. So let's say that I want to add our logo to this video here. You can add it by just simply clicking on your icon. You can then apply your branded colors. You can add new text boxes with your branded fonts. So there you go. We have now a new text box right here. And then you have some other options like a brand voice. We haven't set up ours, so we can do it by clicking on this button right here. We also have our photos in case you want to add your photo to your video project or any Canva project. You also have access to your graphics and icons. So let's say that I want to add this texture to my video. I'm going to position it to back and reduce the transparency. okay. And as you can see, you can have a very branded video using this section right here. I'm going back to the original video template, and then let me talk about the uploads section. From here, you can upload your own files. Let's say that you don't want to work with the Canva library, you don't want to use the videos that are available in there, you want to use your own. You're gonna click here where it says upload files. This is going to give you access to your computer files, so select any file that you want to upload and then hit open. If you are uploading images, they will be under this tab. If you are uploading videos or audio, they will go directly to these sections here. From this section, you can not only upload your own files, but you can also record yourself using Canva. Below upload files, you will see this button that says record yourself. At the moment, as I am filming this video, this button is only available from desktop. So if you are using a mobile phone or a tablet or iPad, you won't be able to see this button. If you are using desktop and you want to try this feature out, click here. At the moment, we are inside a recording studio. From here, you can add filters and effects to your recording. So let me try this one right here, or this one, or this one, or simply use none. And then if I close this window and I click on my bubble, I can also change the shape of my recording. So clicking here to have different options, I can mirror my camera, or I can turn the camera off. Let's say that you just want to have the recording of your voice, so you can do it as well, or on the camera. Once you are ready to record, you are going to click this button that says record. You will see a 3, 2, 1, and then you will start talking. So I'm gonna click 3, 2, 1. I'm here filming this test video just to show you how it works. Once you're done, you're gonna click the done button. I did it really fast. I hope you were able to see it. Then if you don't like what you have recorded, you can delete it from here and record again, or you can save and exit. I'm gonna save and exit. After a couple of seconds, you will see that your video will appear on your document, and you will see that your video will also be available if you go to uploads and then go to videos. This video is the same that you see on this bubble. So let me show you how this video looks. I'm going here and play. Filming this test video just to show you how it works. Now let me delete this video here and the frame. And now let's discover the draw option in Canva. When you click here, you will have these different brushes to draw on your video. The cool thing about drawing on your video is that you will have something very, very unique. And what I like about these drawings is that you can change then the color if you want. So let me try this one here, and that's it. Let me delete this for the moment. You then have access to projects. So if you have created another project and you want to insert it into your video, you can click on your design and Canva will insert it into your new video project. And then we have the section called apps. From here, there are so many different apps in Canva nowadays that it will take us days to talk about the apps. I think by now we have covered a lot about the editor in Canva. We have talked about the gradient bar on top of the screen. We have talked about the white toolbar and the panel that we see on the left. We have the bottom section remaining, and this one has also a lot of tools that will help you edit your videos. So let's start. On the left hand side, you will see a play button. And I think you have seen me using this play button throughout the tutorial a lot. I personally like to use this preview mode more than using this one because I can see the preview of the video right here, and also I can see this guide moving along the timeline. So if I see something that is not working well with my video, I know more or less where is the problem because I see this guide and I can go there and fix it. I do use this preview option here, but I like to use it mostly when I think my video project is done. So I use it right before downloading my video. I click here, I see my video, this is going to be the final outcome, and if I'm happy with the results, I can download my video directly from this preview window by clicking on this button that says download. So this is mostly when we are done, but if we are still adjusting here and there, I like to use this play button. Next to the play icon, we see the pages that compose our video project, and from here we can also see the duration of each of these pages. And when you hover on any of these pages, you will see these three dots. When you click here, you will have more pages options. So from here you can rename your page, add a new page, duplicate, delete, hide, or log page. You will also be able to split the page. So let's say that you want to split this page into two. You can do it from this menu and select split page, or you can do it by hitting the key S. And now that I have this video split into two, let me show you how you can play around with the position of these pages. Let's say that I want to start my video with this section here instead of this one. You can simply drag the page and position it in the first position. So now your video is starting with this one, and the original page number 1 is now page 2. I'm going back, so we have the original template again. Now let me show you something that I use a lot when editing videos in Canva. If you want to adjust the length of any of these pages, so let's say that I want to reduce the length of page number 3, I can hover my mouse on the lateral of the page and you will see that we now have these arrows pointing to the left and the right. I'm going to then click and drag this lateral to the left to trim the video and make it shorter. So instead of 7 seconds plus, now I have 5 seconds on this page. Another option for you to trim a video is by selecting the video from here and use this option on the toolbar. So you're gonna click on this icon and you can trim the video from here and from here. When you are done trimming your video, you're gonna select done. Now let's go back to the lower section of the editor because I want to show you something really cool that is going to make your videos very animated and trendy. When you hover in between two pages, you will see that two little icons appear. There is this plus icon that will add a new page in between these two pages. Now we have a page in between these two. I'm going to delete it because that's not what we want at the moment. Another way to add a new page is by clicking on this big icon that says add page. This is an easier way that I use a lot. And then if I want to reposition this page in between these two, I simply drag it here. That's the option that I use more often. But then what I wanted to show you is that when you hover in between these two pages, there is another icon that says add transition. It is this one right here. And when you click here, you'll be able to add an animated transition in between those two pages. At the moment, we don't have any transition here, so we have none selected. But if you hover on any of these options, you will see the different animated transitions that we have available in Canva. All of them are free, so you can click on them and see the preview. Let me go to this one, then color wipe. In the color wipe option, you can change the colors of these bars appearing. Then we have line wipe, match and move, flow, stack, And stack, you can also change the direction, and then you finally have chop. You will also see that below each of these options, you will have some extra features that you can play around with. So most of them will have duration, direction, and some other extra options, like for example chop has different origin options. And then let me show you stack. You can change the direction as well. Line, you can change the direction. Wipe, you can change the colors, and so on. And for this transition, I'm going to use circle wipe. Going back to the lower section of the editor, I just want to show you something else that you may have seen me using during the tutorial, which is this little guide. You will see this arrow pointing down. I use this one a lot when I want to preview my animation, but really slowly. I'm dragging this line or this little arrow along the video to see how all the elements on my video are moving and to see if there is anything that I need to change or adjust. So for example, here I can see my circle appearing when I'm moving this guide towards the right. Now, I want to show you a really cool video editing trick in Canva. This will allow you to bring elements into the scene, into the video, whenever you want. So, let's say that my first page is about 5 seconds long, something like that. And I want to see on the first 2 seconds of the video this text box, but then I only want to see the video in the back. I don't want to see this text box anymore. I could do two things in here. I could either move this guide to 2 seconds, split the video, I'm hitting the key S, and then on the second page, remove this text box. So when I'm playing my video, I see on the first 2 seconds this text box, and then it disappears. This is option 1, but I do recommend to use option 2, which is, let me go back. We have our video and the text box throughout the 5 seconds. I'm going to select my text box. You can either select these 3 dots or right click, and then you are going to click show timing. This will show you this element, in this case this text box, in the timeline right below. Let me zoom in into this thumbnail so we can see clearly. Now we have exactly the same length. We have 5 seconds. It's just that we zoomed in into these thumbnails of the timeline. Now I'm going to position my guide right where it says 2 seconds, and then I'm going to trim the timing of this text box or this element. I'm going to position it right here next to this guide because I know that this is 2 seconds. Now, moving my guide to the beginning of the video, and then let me hit play. Pay attention to this guide and also to the preview of the video. I'm playing, and then after 2 seconds, it disappears. Now, let me go back to the beginning of the video because let's say that you don't want to see the text box at the beginning, but later on. I'm selecting the text box, again going to show timing. Let's say that I want to see my text box appearing after 1 second. I'm then moving this guide to 1 second and dragging this text box to 1 second. So we're going to start the video without any text box, and it will appear after 1 second and disappear again because the timing of the text box ends right here. This is a very useful trick for video editing, and with this you can also add, let's say, captions to your videos. I'm going to stretch the timing of this text box because I want to show you another trick. I'm going to add a motion effect to this text box. So I'm selecting the text box. Remember that on the white toolbar we have the animate option. We have a lot of animations to make our text box appear or disappear. But if you go below all of these animation options, you will see motion effects. This will make your elements rotate, flicker, pulse, or wiggle. What I like about these motion effects is that they will last throughout the whole length of the video instead of just having one movement and then staying still. If you select any of these purple options, you will have one animation and then it will stay still. But again, if you select one of the motion effects, the animation will stay during the video. So you will see that the text has this pulse effect again and again throughout the video. We are almost done with the features in this lower section of the editor. Right below the play button, you see notes. In here, you can write some notes in case that you are going to be displaying this video and then having a presenter's view at the same time. You also have this button that says duration. This one is very useful, at least for me, because I like to pay attention to the duration of each of my pages. But if you don't want to see this duration, you can click here and then only see the number of each of the pages. So you see 1, 2, and 3. Let me activate again the duration here and then go to the right hand side of this lower section. From here, if you have duration activated, you see that you can go from zoom thumbnails to zoom page. So you basically can zoom in or zoom out into the page in case that you want to work on little details, or you can zoom in into these thumbnails. I find zooming into the thumbnails really useful when I'm working with element timing, because I can really go into the exact second where I want to position my elements or I want to make them disappear. So this one is really useful. I use it a lot. You can also use the grid view in case that you want to see an overview of all of the pages in your video. And then lastly, you have the preview button, which is going to take you into this immersive experience of your video. And then if you want to close this preview window, hit escape 2 times and you will be back to the editor. Now, if you are ready to download or to share this video with others, you are going to use the share button on top of the screen. You can share a link for people to preview it, so you can select only you can access, only your team, or anyone with the link. You can share a link for people to be able to view it, comment, or edit. I'm going to select can view, so people can only view it, and then copy this link. This link has been copied to your clipboard, so you can then paste it on an email, a message, or Slack and send it to anyone. Right below, you have some other options to share this video. You can download it, share it on social media. You can see here some other options that you have. But let's say that we want to download it. I'm gonna click here. Then you can select your file type. You have some other options here. But if you want to download it as a video, go for the suggested option, which is MP4 video. If you have a Canva Pro account, you can increase the quality of your video up to 4K. If you are using a Canva free account, you can still download it into a high definition quality. You can then select the pages you want to download. So I'm going to use all the pages on my video and then hit download.
Not too long ago, Canva hosted an unusual event in San Francisco, California. The event was called Canva Extend, and it was entirely focused on developers. So not your typical Canva crowd now, is it? During the event, Canva made a groundbreaking announcement. They were opening their ecosystem and launching an app marketplace. This means that anyone can now build and launch an app that works seamlessly within Canva. Now, this announcement truly impacts the way we all use Canva. Let me break it down for you in this video. Now, there are two ways you can access the Canva apps. The first one is from the Canva homepage. This time I'm using my Canva Pro account, but it doesn't really matter. Apps are free for everyone to use. So from the homepage, locate the apps button right here in your side panel. So click here and you will land on the apps or the marketplace landing page, right? So from here, you will see a couple of different sections on the page, some trending apps that will be featured on top of the page. And then as you scroll down, you will see different categories of apps that you can plug into Canva. So new and noteworthy apps right here. You have your AI powered apps, your design essentials, your share and publish apps. So these are just some categories that Canva has created. Some apps don't really fall into any of these categories, but I think it's always good to explore from here. You can also search using the search bar. For example, you search for a QR code generator, just type QR and you have a couple of different options here. You can navigate through the different categories by using these tiles right here, which is pretty convenient. And you have a big feature that will change every now and then right here on Canva. So this week, the feature app is the DALL-E app from OpenAI. So that's the first way for you to get to the apps, right? So from here, if you want to start an app from the homepage, so from here, simply click on one. You will have a broader description of what the app does, and you will have two different buttons to choose from here. Use an existing design. So if you click here, you will be prompted to select one of your designs, okay, in your folders, or you can use in a new design. Okay, and then Canva will ask you what type of document do you want to create. So you can start a new design and start using the app straight away this way. Okay, I'm gonna close this and now let's move over the editor, the design area in Canva, because I want to show you the second way you can access the apps. So here we are in the Canva editor. In order to find your apps, very easy, very straightforward. Just look at the object panel right here, which is this left menu you have on Canva right here. The last tab, last button, should be called Apps. So when you click here, you pretty much access the same menu of apps. It's just the editor version of what you've seen on the homepage. So from here, you have a few different things. You have your search bar to search for your apps. By default, you will land on your Discover tab, but you can switch over to your Apps tab. If this is the first time you use a Canva app, you won't have anything in this Your Apps section. It should be empty because I have used plenty of them. As you can see, they are all here. So let's come back to Discover for now. I want to show you that you have the same sections. You have your featured apps right here. You have your trending apps, and these are carousels, so you can navigate with the little arrows. You have more apps or features from Canva. Okay, we've already talked about this in a previous lecture of the course. Then you have your popular apps. Okay, so all the popular apps right here. And then you have the same categories, AI powered, you have your create something new, etc., etc. So you can browse or you can search for a specific app. One thing that is important for you to understand is that most of the apps in the app marketplace are third-party apps, meaning they have been developed by other companies, other than Canva. But, however, there are a few apps that Canva has created itself, right? So if I am coming back to my Discover tab right here, let me show you, for example, all of these tiles right here. So the black and white tiles are Canva apps or Canva extra features, I would say, that they consider apps. But you may, from time to time, also come across an app that is not in the gray section here, but has been developed by Canva. That is the case, for example, of Magic Media, this one right here. So if I click on it, you see the first information I have is created by Canva. So Magic Media is an app that has been developed by Canva. All right, so yeah, just be aware that you will find some third-party apps and some Canva-made apps. Now, how can you start using these apps? Well, very easily. Once you're here, once you have clicked on an app that you'd like to try, you can simply click on the Open button. Okay, so this purple button here, click on it, and this should pretty much open the app. Now, some of the third-party apps will require you to sign up in order to unlock all the features. So most of them will have a few functionalities, but if you want to do a specific action, they might ask you to sign up or create an account, which you can do from Canva. And I'm not going to get into that, but this is just a straightforward process. So now I have connected the Magic Media app. I can start using it. So this is the text-to-image app built by Canva, which is using AI to generate all sorts of images. All right, so this is how you use apps. And notice that once you use an app, it will be pinned right here underneath the little divider right here, this little line under the apps button. So if I come back to apps and I choose to open another one, for example, let's say the DALL-E app right here, it will also be pinned right here, okay? And because I have already used the DALL-E app in Canva, it doesn't ask me to open the app. I can immediately start using it. All right, so that is how you start using apps. Now, you might be like me, and your apps section, so this tab right here, might be filled with a bunch of apps that you have tried once, didn't really like, but yeah, they're just sitting there. How do you remove these apps? Well, let me show you. Let's find one app that I don't particularly use. For example, let's say Icon Duck, this one right here. I'm gonna click on the three little dots, okay? And simply, you can remove from your apps. So click here, it will be gone. Okay, let's remove another one that I'm not particularly using too much. This one right here, Pattern AI. Okay, click here, remove from your apps. And just like that, you can clean up your apps section so that only the good ones will remain there for you to use. All right, so we've seen that there is a multitude of apps that you could potentially use in Canva, but how do you know which ones are good and which ones aren't? It's not easy, and it might cost you a lot of time to try them all. So in order to make your life easier, I have on our YouTube channel started a series. It's called Hot New Canva Apps. And currently, at the time of filming this, I have 6 episodes on the channel. And in each of these episodes, I try, review, and rate the latest batch of Canva apps. So I try them all and I let you know what I think about them. Like I show you how to use them, but also I give them a rating between 0 and 5 stars. So that way you can simply watch these episodes and understand, or at least let me do the sorting for you. Let me trailblaze and find the little gems that are hidden in the Canva apps. So how do I access these videos, you might ask? Well, let me show you a little trick. I have copied the link to our YouTube playlist right here, and I'm gonna use an app. I'm gonna use the QR code generator app in Canva right here. I'm gonna paste the URL. There you go, and generate a QR code. So you see this app in particular generates QR code for me. So I'm gonna paste it right here, okay? If you want to access my playlist, watch our Hot New Canva Apps tutorial, you can just scan this QR code. It will drive you straight to the playlist. Isn't that wonderful? I want to wrap up this video by showing you 3 really cool apps that I think you should try. All right, the first one is called Type Gradient. So we are going to find it by typing Type Gradient. Okay, there you go. And this is the app. When I click on the 3 little dots right here and see the app details, it says elevate your designs with text gradient. So this is a very cool app because it comes and fills in a gap that exists in Canva that you cannot create gradient text. Well, now with Type Gradient you can. Okay, so just click on it and you should be good to go and start using this app. So basically how it works, you can simply type in some text. Let's put everything in all caps, gradients in text. You can decide the font you are going to be using. For the sake of this exercise, I will leave it to Anton, which is a pretty cool font. I'm going to align everything in the middle. You can decide on the line height, so a bunch of different options. And then, and this is the the crucial part, you can decide on which colors you want your gradient to have. Okay, so you see these little dots right here on my gradient. You can click on them and you can move that little bubble to anywhere you like so. You can add more bubbles by clicking outside, like on the little gradient bar. So as you do so, you see you can move your bubble and find the colors that you like. All right, and once you're done with this, click outside of this and you should see the preview of your text gradient. You can move this little slider and orient the gradient in different orientations or sides. And yeah, if you're happy with the result, just click on Add to Design and this gradient will be added to your page. So this is a very cool app that it comes and yeah, solves a typical problem in Canva. So really well done, Type Gradient. The second app I want to show you that I love and use all the time is Giphy. This one is not a new app, okay? It's an old app. So let me show you. I'm gonna search for it as well, Giphy. I know it's somewhere in your app section. So Giphy is just the app version of the popular website for finding and generating GIFs, right? So this lets you embed GIFs into your design. So if I just type in a keyword like impatient, for example, run that search, I should see a bunch of different GIFs that I could now include in my design. So for example, let's try this one right here. You simply click on it and you can stretch it, okay, to your taste. You can even round the corners or add a border if you wish by using the corner option right here, the border style. Or you could change the color of that border. You could add a border first, change the color of that border. Let's say we use our custom pink. And there you go. You have added a GIF that will play when you share your design as a view link, as a website, as a presentation, for example. The GIF will definitely play. And last but not least, the third app I think you really should give a spin is, drumroll please, our very own app, Rondi Tutorials. All right, Rondi Tutorials is a little project of ours. You can search for Rondi, you'll find Rondi Tutorials. The app looks like so, Rondi Tutorials. When you click on it, what it does, it brings all our YouTube tutorials straight here in the Canva editor so that you can watch a video. So you can either decide to watch one of our latest videos, or you could search by typing in a keyword or a question. So for example, if you want tutorials about colors that we have developed, just type in colors and you can start learning about colors by simply clicking on it. It will embed the video in your design and you can interact with the video by double-clicking on it. You go to instructor. You see, so the tutorial will start playing here, and meanwhile, you can start working in Canva. So you could create shapes and start playing with colors while listening to the tutorial. So if you think this is something for you, if you'd like to try practicing while you are listening to one of our tutorials, I invite you to try the Rondi Tutorial app. Congratulations on completing this Canva crash course. By now, you should have a good understanding on how to use Canva's basic features, but also a bit more of an idea of what this tool can do for you, your business, or your personal brand. Now, I wouldn't say you are a Canva expert just yet. It takes a bit more than 2 hours to fully master such a comprehensive tool as Canva. Indeed, there's a lot of things we didn't have time to cover in this introduction course, like how to set up your brand kits in Canva to always design on brand, how to organize your Canva files with folders, how to create websites with Canva, or a deeper dive into all of the AI-powered tools Canva has in store for us to boost our productivity, how to work with animations and add movement to your designs, how to use Canva docs and Canva whiteboards, etc., etc. I mean, there's only so much you can do in 2 hours, right? Well, the good news, I guess, if you enjoyed our style and this little getting started course, is that you'll probably love our longer, deeper Canva courses. Diana and I have been teaching on Udemy for a very long time already and have other courses I'm sure you will find valuable. I'll leave some links with some special coupons for our latest Canva courses in the description of this video. Make sure to find them. And that's it for me. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next course.